Have you ever heard of the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus? Chances are you're familiar with the term mausoleum, which refers to a large tomb for a notable person. If you've never looked into the origin of the word, then you will all probably be surprised to learn that it originated from a tomb built in ancient Greece, nearly 2,400 years ago. On the shores of the Aegean Sea, where modern-day Bodrum lies, once stood one of the most magnificent monuments of the ancient world, the Mausoleum at Halicarnassus, a towering tribute to power, love, and legacy. A tomb so iconic, its name became a word we still use today. But what exactly made the Mausoleum at Halicarnassus so special? What was life like for the people who built it? And why did it come crashing down? In this episode of Lost Ancient World Wonders, we explore the Mausoleum at Halicarnassus. Built over 2,300 years ago, this awe-inspiring structure was more than a tomb, it was a statement. A fusion of cultures, and in a way, a love letter carved in marble. To understand the Mausoleum, we have to go back to the 4th century BCE in a region called Caria, part of the Persian Empire. Its ruler was Mausolus, a satrap, poor governor, the Persians' Achaemenid Empire. Mausolus inherited the position of satrap from his father, Halicarnassus, the first ever satrap of Caria. But Mausolus was no ordinary bureaucrat. He ruled like a king, collected taxes like an emperor, and even minted coins with his own image. But power didn't make him noble, it made him greedy. Under Persian law, he was allowed to collect taxes for the king, Artaxerxes II, but Mausolus didn't stop there. He demanded more extra gold, luxury goods, anything he could get his hands on. He used fear and lies to take even more from his people, claiming he needed gold to build defensive walls or protect them from mysterious threats that never came. But it wasn't just about money. To keep everyone under control, Mausolus resorted to brutal tactics. He'd capture residents of entire towns, holding them hostage, while turning their neighbors against each other with distraction and fear. While people scrambled to save their loved ones, Mausolus quietly crushed their towns one by one. His capital city, Halicarnassus, was a beacon of culture and ambition. Behind the towering beauty of Halicarnassus was a legacy built on fear, deception, and absolute control. Mausolus was married to his sister, Artemisia II, common symbolic practice among royal families of the time to preserve power. Artemisia the satrap in the shadows was every bit as powerful as her husband. While Mausolus ruled with politics and force, Artemisia strategically pulled strings from the background. She didn't need soldiers. She controlled towns through the influence of religion, the charm of music, and the quiet loyalty of eunuchs' messengers, spies and confidants, loyal only to her. And when Mausolus died in 353 BCE, Artemisia was devastated. For Artemisia, this wasn't just the loss of a husband, it was the end of her world. Her parents were long gone. She had no children to carry on their legacy, and the few siblings she had left. Distant, cold, always plotting, always watching. But she didn't just grieve. She commissioned a monument so grand, so magnificent, it would be remembered for millennia. Construction began shortly after Mausolus's death, under the direction of Artemisia. She spared no expense. Two of the best-known Greek architects of the time, Satyros and Pythias, were hired to design it. The design? Nothing short of revolutionary. It combined Greek, Egyptian, and Lycian architectural styles. The mausoleum stood about 45 meters or 148 feet high. It had a rectangular base. A ring of Ionic columns surrounded the structure. Above that, a stepped pyramid roof. And at the very top, a marble chariot pulled by 4 horses, likely carrying statues of Mausolus and Artemisia. And the decorations, breathtaking. Some of the greatest Greek sculptors, Scopas, Bryaxis, Timotheus, and Leotiades, were brought in to craft detailed friezes and statues. Mythical creatures, gods, and battle scenes all adorned the walls, carved in brilliant white marble. But the mausoleum wasn't just a political statement. It was deeply personal. Ancient sources claim Artemisia was so heartbroken, she drank her husband's ashes mixed with wine. Whether symbolic or real, it speaks to the emotional and spiritual weight behind the monument. She died 2 years later, and her body was laid to rest beside his inside the tomb she had built. The mausoleum came at a staggering cost, a cost Artemisia never hesitated to pay. Rare stones, metals, and fine marble were imported from across the known world, only made affordable through the mountain of gold she and Mausolus had extracted from their people year after year. Hundreds of artisans, local stonecutters, foreign craftsmen, slaves, and craftsmen working under extreme conditions to bring this vision to life. Day and night, the workers labored relentlessly, cutting massive slabs of white marble from distant quarries, hauling them mile after mile to the construction site. With incredible precision, they carved intricate designs by hand, each strike of the chisel bringing the monument to life, using only ropes, wooden pulleys, and towering scaffolds. They raised enormous columns skyward, building a wonder of the ancient world, one stone at a time. The mausoleum stood tall for over 1,600 years, but nature eventually won. Between the 12th and 15th centuries, a series of earthquakes reduced it to rubble. Economically, it may have strained the region, but in return, Caria gained prestige, and Halicarnassus became legendary. In the 15th century, the Knights of St. John used much of its stone to build Bodrum Castle, still standing today. Ironically, what they didn't reuse is what now rests in the British Museum, where pieces of the mausoleum remain on display. Today, the word mausoleum comes from this single tomb, a monument to Mausolus, but also to architecture, grief, and human ambition. It may no longer stand, but its legacy continues. Every time we speak of grand tombs, we echo a name from ancient Halicarnassus. Now let's talk about some of the incredible sculptures that decorated the mausoleum. Many of them were crafted by the sculptor Scopas, who was considered one of the greatest Greek sculptors of the 4th century BCE. Unfortunately, few complete works of his still exist, making it difficult to fully grasp his artistic genius. However, we know he played a significant role in creating the frieze of the Parthenon, one of the most celebrated works of ancient art. One of the most well-known sculptures associated with the mausoleum is the Kneeling Woman, now housed in the British Museum. This piece is believed to be a representation of the goddess Athena, the patron deity of Athens. Interestingly, Athena was said to have been the first to conceive of building a tomb for King Mausolus, demonstrating the widespread admiration for his accomplishments. Another intriguing sculpture found at the mausoleum is the so-called General's Tomb, which can be admired at the Istanbul Archaeology Museums. While its original purpose remains uncertain, it's speculated to have been created for the tomb of Mausolus. This sarcophagus, initially thought to contain the remains of Alexander the Great, now holds the known burial chamber of Mausolus. Additionally, fragments of a bronze statue depicting the central figure of a warrior charioteer can be found at the British Museum. Crafted by the renowned artist Halicarnassus, this piece is particularly fascinating due to the innovative approach of using bronze, a less common material in sculpture during that period. Among the other sculptures adorning the mausoleum was a majestic lion, skillfully carved from a single block of marble. This impressive work of art is now displayed at the Louvre Museum in Paris. Additionally, a winged figure believed to represent a victory goddess is also part of the Louvre's collection. In addition to these sculptures, the mausoleum was a site where mythology and history intertwined. One particular scene depicted the myth of the birth of Dionysus, the god of wine, where the satyr appears to be the only figure carved in a darker type of marble. This stylistic choice drew attention and sparked debate among historians, who pondered if it symbolized the darkness within the satyresque character or represented a rare type of black marble imported from another region. Lastly, another captivating sculpture showcased the goddess Aphrodite rising from the sea. This captivating scene served as a reminder of Aphrodite's divine origins, highlighting her emergence from the primordial waters as a fully formed goddess ready to bless humanity with her love and beauty. Emerging fully grown from her seafoam bath, this sculpture epitomized the epitome of beauty. The mausoleum at Halicarnassus stands as more than just a resting place for the powerful but cruel satrap Mausolus. It's a timeless testament to love, ambition, and the heights of human creativity, an architectural and artistic marvel that still echoes through the ages. What do you think of the mausoleum at Halicarnassus? Would you like to visit this place if it were still standing? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section below. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe for more captivating stories from the ancient world. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious.